Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of Diplomatic Language. I'm your host, Mr. Bougie, Mr. Midnight, Jarrell, Mr. Whole Foods, Corley. This is my co-host here, Mr. Free Your Hands, 7 in the morning, the Vibe Cultivator, Ryan Robertson.
There we go.
All right, so today, guys, we're going to do something a little different. We're not going to really discuss any topics. We're trying to get more personable with our fans and with our viewers. So today, we just want to give you guys a little bit of background of who we are, how we met, and how we got to this point in time now where we're doing a YouTube channel. So stay tuned for some interesting tales and histories of how the two of us met and how we got to this point in time where we're bringing you some really good content. So stay tuned. All right, Robertson. So what's up? What's the deal, man? How did you first? When did you first meet me? Like, what was the story? You want to break it off? Because I kind of know we started getting close, but I don't really remember exactly when I first saw you. Was it like first sight?
Well, you said what?
I'm just messing around. Spirit Brothers.
I was coming into the motor pool to go do something. So I walk inside the bay and I see 3 dudes sitting on the couch. 2 look normal. I said, look, 2 look normal. And then one got a high top fade, some fucking gold brims, in a suitcase. And I was like, who is? I said, you know what? I gotta go. I got things to do. I'm not really worried about it. But
like, what was you like? What were you thinking? Like, this nigga look crazy? Or like, what were you thinking?
I was like, I'm liking the fit. I mean, he had the uniform on. I'm saying I like the high top fade
look
and the gold brims and the briefcase. But it was just different. I was like, is he here to work or like what is he here to do?
I'm your new commander, baby. Take a charge.
I was like, one, he's a specialist. What's in the briefcase? What's in the briefcase?
It's the football. It's the football, baby. You know what the football is, right?
Nah, what is that?
It's the nuclear codes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The codes to all the nukes. That's what they hand off to the president, when he's got to push the buttons, to launch the nukes.
It's funny. I don't know if you know or not, but for a long time, people thought you were CID.
Bro, people always think I'm a cop, bro. I don't know why everyone always thinks I'm a cop, bro.
Yeah, I thought you were CID.
Yes, I think Swinford told me that. He's like, yeah, we thought you were CID, man. I was like, nah, man, CID.
Yeah, because you were older, right? Because you were older. We all knew you was older. And he was a specialist. We knew you had a degree. And it's just the way you was like, with the briefcase. And we was like, he can't be no like normal soldier. But I didn't know you though. I didn't know you at the time.
Y'all could have checked the record, man. Y'all could have asked Rod and David. I must have been real undercover. They sent me the AIT and everything. Like
right. Damn. Yeah, nah. But I didn't know you though at all. Like I hadn't had a conversation with you up to that point. Just like a what's up? What's your name? That's about it. How did me and you end up talking? And actually like having conversations?
I don't know, man. All I can say is that I remember one morning we had been tasked out to do something and me and you decided to work together.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I remember the first time we really bonded, we were inside the LHS and it was on the line. And I forget what we were doing, but we just had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
And we just clicked, man. It was like meant to be.
Okay, so you asked me because you was like, yo, man, folks is always bullshit, man. Talk about they want to go to, they want to go somewhere. Folks don't want to commit to the money, stuff like that. And he was like, and then like 2 days later after that conversation, he was like, yo, you want to go to the Q cruise? I was like, all right, let's do it. I said, yo, just tell me when and I'll send you the money. And I sent you the money. We got the tickets. Well, we go to Young Dun. And we setting up shop inside the hotel. I still really don't know you at the time. I've known you for maybe a month. We were just chilling, man. It was cooling. I was playing some music, That sounds crazy. We chilling. I'm playing music. But I'm just playing music. We chill. We talking. We just clicked. And then we went out. Oh my gosh!
You had your first taste of a Long Island iced tea. I don't think you knew what you were getting into.
Oh my God. Well, let's talk about the cruise for a second. I had drank so much that night. I had like 9 Long Island iced teas.
You didn't have no 9 Long Islands, bro.
Bro, no. I lied. I had like 5 Long Islands, and I had like 2 gin and tonics. I never had a gin and tonic. Like I was just taking them back to back to back to back, and I wasn't feeling them at all. Like, I was feeling them a little bit,
that night.
but I didn't start feeling it until we got on the bus, and then I thought I was about to throw up. Bus is rocking. I'm like laying on your shoulder, low key.
And see, I didn't realize you had that much to drink because we weren't really together the whole time. You know,
because you was mingling with the officer, right?
Yeah,
you was mingling with an officer.
We were dancing, you know, on the top of the ship.
Yeah, I was mingling with the shorty I met.
I remember that, but you know, when she found that I was enlisted, you know, things just kind of.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I may run into it again, like, hey, baby, I'm an officer now.
Yeah.
We ain't got no excuses now.
Hey, I don't know if I told you, but you know, because you went home that night, like after the cruise, I wanted to stay out, and you was like, "Nah, bro, I'm about to go sleep." I said, "All right, man, I'll catch you at the hotel later."
Well, it was kind of dead at the hotel, you know, but you had met some people and you were, you know, vibing with. You know, me, I wasn't really feeling social anymore, you know, because
normally, I feel you.
Right. You know, me, there's like a duality to me. I can either be the life of the party or I can kind of be to myself. And that night I was just sort of to myself.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. He said we all have social meters and they all run out at some point, you know.
Facts.
Yeah, I met that girl that night, man, and I was trying all night, and she just was hung up on my age. The fact that I was, at the time, only 23, I think, 23, 22.
She was living in Korea, wasn't she? She was like a teacher, right?
Yeah. She was, it was a group of 3 of them.
Okay.
And see, I messed up. I should have went for dark skin one. The dark skin one would have probably went for it. Why I was going for light skin one.
Why did you go for the dark skin girl?
The light skin one is the one I met. It's actually I lied. Like she the one who kind of I seen her and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try her. But
so you didn't even approach the dark skin girl?
Nah, because like they really weren't together. I seen the light skin girl. She was at the bar, just sitting there, and I just walked up to her and we just started talking.
Okay.
And then as soon as they got to my age, I told her the truth because she was like 31, 32 already.
You knew she was 32 before you told her your age?
Yeah, I don't lie about my age.
I mean, why should you lie about anything? Honestly,
right. Like people do lie though. Like girls will say they're older or they'll say they're younger than what they are. But I don't be doing all that lying. And then when it came time for me to go home, bro, I don't know if you noticed or not. I tried to walk home that night.
You got lost. I
got lost, and my phone was like on 3 or 4%, and I couldn't remember the name of our hotel. And you weren't picking the phone up, and I was like, I can't. It was dark. I was like, bro, I don't know what to do. And I remember her telling me what floor she stayed on. Why she told me, I don't know. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna go up there and at least charge my phone.
How did you find her room number though?
So I went to that floor, and this gonna sound creepy. I went just door to door, like just listening. I said, I'll be able to hear some girls talking in there. So I was like listening. Oh, and then it worked. I heard one door.
How many doors did you go to?
It wasn't that far. It was like maybe the 5th or 6th door.
Okay.
And I knocked on the door, and then a dude opened the door. And it's a dude that, okay, so all right, so to give you some more backstory, right? So I couldn't get on with the light-skinned girl. She told me I was too young, and I ended up meeting a dude that night. Me and him ended up clicking, and I was like, the whole night, once I figured out it was dead for me, the whole night I was trying to get him to get on with her. And I was like, yo, talk to her, bro. She like you. She thinks, you know, you cute. You obviously old enough. You like 32.
You were telling the truth.
Now I was telling the truth because like me, as soon as it got established that I wasn't going nowhere with shorty, me and her just started just kicking it, just talking it, like just as homies. We just started kicking it. And then she was like, yeah, it's a guy over there that I kind of like. And then me and him ended up bumping into each other that night. And I told him, I was like, yo, shorty over there like you, man. You should go holler at her. And like, you know, bro was trying to play too cool, too smooth. And I just don't think he wanted to put himself out there like in front of everybody or whatever. I don't know why. But he opens the door. And he like, yo, I'm like, yo. And then she comes and I'm like, yo. And she's like, and her friends is like, hey, what are you doing here? And I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I cannot find my hotel. I forgot the name of it. My homeboy already left. My phone was like 3%. I need to charge my phone. So they let me come in, and we kicking it. Dude ends up leaving like 5 minutes later. So I'm just sitting there chilling, talking with the girls, whatever. And then they was like, yo, you can just stay tonight if you want to. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just sleep on the floor. Now, see, this is the moment. I think I told you this. This is the moment I think I messed up on. Shorty was like, yo, you can sleep in the bed if you want to. Like, I'm not tripping. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna just sleep on the floor. I'm just happy to have a place to stay tonight, to be honest with you. But you see, I should have slept in the bed with her. That's what I should have did. But I ended up spending the night there. I woke up. It was a long ass taxi line, bro. Long line, like 20.
The next day?
The next morning. It's a long taxi line. And you asked me to get you something from the hotel bakery. And then I hopped in line, went back to the hotel, and then went to the cookout. That was a night right there. I threw up.
I mean, honestly, man, that was a much needed trip because I felt like I was home.
Yes.
You know, we were just around a lot of people like us.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was back home. And
it felt like a reunion.
Remember we seen dude, I got a picture of dude, bro. Dude, like somebody kidnapped him, threw him out of a van, and he woke up in the middle of a ditch.
Yo, dude walked up to us, had like one pants leg pulled up. He had like a dirty white t-shirt on. These dirty
Jordan was all scuffed up.
He was like, yo, y'all know to get back to base. And we're like, nah, not really. Like, we don't know which train. He's like, all right, man, I'm gonna figure it out. And we're like, yo, what happened to him last night?
You all right, buddy? Like, you okay?
Yeah. Real quick. Well, not real quick, but break down the wine train trip.
So basically there's this company called the Wine Train in Seoul. It's a purple train, and it leaves from Seoul and it goes to different stops in South Korea. And basically you get on this train and you go to Yeongdong. That's like the wine capital of Korea. And so it's probably be an hour and a half, 2 hour train ride. And on the train, you know, they give you breakfast and a bottle of wine, and you have you're in your own personal car. Me and him shared a car. We ate breakfast, had some wine, got to Yeongdong. We got off and got onto a tourist bus, and the tourist bus takes you to different wineries. We went to a winery, and we tried different wines. We had a foot bath, hanging out with the locals. We had lunch with the Koreans, the locals, and then we went to we picked the wine grapes, and they had an opportunity for you to buy different types of wine, try different types of wine. And then we also went to another winery. You could try the wine, buy the wine. We went to an outdoor wine festival where you could buy.
Real quick, hey, tell them about the group of older women that we met.
Oh, we met a group of older Korean women. They were very nice. I think one of them owned a restaurant. They were trying to get us to come visit the restaurant. At some point in time,
we didn't get a chance to go.
We just didn't get a chance to go back. But I actually went to a musical with them as well. It was like a cultural event where they were playing music on the stage. So we did that. It was amazing, man. I like train rides, so it was something I wanted to do. My man Robertson, he likes wine. So I was like, well, this would be something that he would enjoy. So I was like, yo, let's go to the wine trip. We went to Seoul, and we stayed the night in Seoul. And he actually got into a little escapade too. He went out and met a local while he was out there.
Let me tell you about that story.
He got his Yeezys all dirty.
Oh my gosh. Look, let me tell him about that story.
Bro, I'm not trying to go out, man. I got to get up in the morning for the train ride. I'm an old man, so he want to be real young and go out there and have fun. Oh, and also tell him about the story. Remember the guy, he was like, no go. They was playing Jay-Z at the club and wouldn't let us in.
Right.
But then the other bouncer.
Is that same night?
I don't know. I think it was. It was the same trip.
Oh, yeah, it was that same night. We ended up going back home after that.
Yeah, and then you went out with someone else. You met
I went out again.
With a local Korean, with a local. And,
all right, so.
Yeah, but they ended up letting us in because dude, the other bouncer, he was like, yo, I think they're military. So he ended up letting us in. But they're low-key a little racist out there,
Yeah. So look, we pull up to this bar, right? We're like going from place to place or just looking at place to go to, and we find this place that says everybody gets in free. And it's like a screen on the outside of the club that shows you what it looks like in the inside. and everybody's getting in free. All right, so we hop in line, or we get to the front, and then they say no go. Me and you, so they're like no go. So I've already been drinking, I think a little bit, and I'm getting to 10 because I'm like, bro, we just seen a whole group of people go in. So I'm like, why we can't get in? They're like, oh, no go. I'm like, now you gonna give us a reason why we can't get in? And then somebody, I guess, seen, things escalating. They came outside.
Bouncer, yeah.
He was like, yo, y'all military? We was like, yeah. And they was like, he whispered something in his ear, and he was like, all right, yeah, you can come on in. We can come on in. Now, if I was in my right mind, I would have said, oh, we need to go.
You weren't getting out of hand.
I wasn't getting out of hand, but it's the fact that, like, you really shouldn't be going places that you're not wanted.
Well, it's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
We actually ended up leaving in like 5 minutes. We went in there.
Yeah, we went down there, took one lap around the whole place, and then we slid out.
I think some guy was like smoking weed, wasn't he? What? There was another black dude in the club.
There's a black dude down there. Yeah, full of Koreans.
Yeah, another black dude down there. He was they was like smoking cigarettes. We was like, yo, let's just go, bro. We don't even want to be here right now, honestly. But no, you're right.
So we get back to the hotel, and you are settling into bed, and I'm on my phone trying to. Well, I'm inside the bathroom, like using the bidet. The bidet is amazing.
But it's life changing. If you guys get to use a bidet, try it. It's amazing.
Yeah. A bidet is amazing. It's amazing. It cleans your butthole. It splashes water up there, and it cleans you out. It makes you feel like you're fresh. So I'm trying to find something to get into tonight. I come out. This man got the lights dim. He's already tucked in. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to go out. He like, yo, you can go ahead, go. Like, I'm staying in. You don't want to hear no loud noises. You say it up too loud. Because before I even went out.
Bro, we had to catch the train at like 7 a.m.
But it's like, bro, we get up at 5 on normal basis. We used to this.
I was trying to be well rested for the day, man.
Before I even went out, I actually went upstairs to the hotel bar and got a couple drinks.
Okay. How was it up?
It was nice. Nice as fuck. So I went up there, got a couple drinks.
Okay.
And then I said, you know what? I'm in the city because I matched with this girl on Tinder. And she told me to pull up.
We got there.
Yeah, before I even got there. Like, shorty told me to pull up to this club. So I said, all right, fuck it. Now, looking back, this is very dangerous. I wouldn't advise anybody do this. I went out by myself in Korea in a different city that's not even near the base. I went out by myself. So I caught this taxi. The taxi guy couldn't speak English, obviously. So I had to like just show him the place. And he took me there, whatever. I hop out, still dolo. And I'm going through the college party city, whatever. I pull up to the spot and I go in there and I see shorty. I see her. So we hang out for a little bit, but then I realize like, damn, like shorty is what's the word? She's a user. Like she's looking for the highest bidder.
What you mean?
Like whoever is gonna buy her the most drinks, whoever is gonna pay for the most her food that night, whoever is giving her the most attention financially is who she's gonna go with. Because she was getting a lot of attention that night, a lot of attention. I'm just like, oh, this is not the one to hang out with tonight. Because like she's looking for the big ticket guy. I'm not the big ticket guy. I'm not gonna spend it. I'm not gonna do it.
What's the most you gonna spend on a date?
It depends on how much I like the girl. On a first date, the most I spent is like $150.
What'd you guys do?
We went to the movies, and then we went out to eat, and then we went to a bar/club that same night.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all added up to about $150.
Did you see her again?
Yeah, we ended up, dating a little bit.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
Generally speaking, the most I probably spend on a first date, I'm gonna budget it out to about $50.
Okay, that's fair.
About $50.
All right, so continue. So at this point, you found out she's not the one.
She's not the one. So I start mingling around. I see a couple other Koreans, but these Koreans are different. Down like those Koreans that are in that party scene, like mixed in with the Americans, they different, bro. Like they want to be American. So it's like they see what these American girls do, and they do the same thing. Like I'm not paying for it, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not paying for it. I'm not gonna do it. So. Long story short, I end up leaving. And then, bro, I'm lucky. Looking back, bro, I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. It's hard to find taxis at that time of the night. I didn't know that. So like literally, I'm looking for a taxi, looking for a taxi. The app is not really working to get taxis. My phone is dying. It's like at this point about 30%, 35.
You don't have no hotel to go charge your phone up at this time either.
No. If I get stuck out here, I'm just stuck. It just is what it is. And I'm by myself. I luckily flagged this guy down, right? I flagged this guy down and I'm like, hotel, check back to the hotel. And he's like, oh, no. But I pull out a wad of wine. And I'm like, I'm so serious. I'm like, hotel. He's like, oh, come in. I'm like, oh, yes. I'm like, yes. And I just showed the name of the hotel on my phone. He just takes me there. And honestly, he probably overcharged me. I just dished it out. I didn't give a fuck at that point. Just dished it out.
Shoes get dirty.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know my shoes were dirty, bro, until I got back to the hotel. Because you gotta think, it was crowded. But Korea is different, bro. They party from 8 at night all the way till 5 in the morning. So people like by the time I was leaving, there was people still hopping in line to get into the party.
What time did you leave?
Like midnight.
Okay.
They different, bro, but it was crowded. I didn't even know my shoes were that dirty until I got to the crib. I was so hurt, but I brought them back.
You didn't bring it back to life. You brought them back. Okay, well, enough about our, fast times in Korea. Let's talk more about who we are as people.
I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. I am an only child. I come from a 2-parent household. I grew up loving sports, basketball. I was into football a little as I got older. I remember the exact moment though that I fell in love with music. I was inside of Bose headphone store, and I try them on, and Michael Bublé is playing. Michael Bublé. I don't know if you know who Michael Bublé is or not. It's a white man who sings like jazz and classical music. And I asked the guy, I said, yo, who is this? Like who is this you guys got playing? He said, Michael Bublé. I said, oh shit, Michael Bublé. All right. So I write down on a sticky note. I go back to the crib. I hop on YouTube. I type in Michael Bublé. And I just go through a wormhole of just Michael Bublé. And I start going through the comments. And they say, Michael Bublé is like a young Frank Sinatra. So I said, who's Frank Sinatra? Hop on there, look through Frank Sinatra. That's who I discovered. Dean Martin, Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis Jr., like the whole Rat Pack. And then the wormhole just kept going. And then that's how I got, put on to like that old jazz music, the old classical music. And then I got put on to like swing, like that swing music, like, yeah, ain't by no day.
What, the 1920s?
Got that swing. What you say?
What, the 1920s?
Yeah, 1920s, like that swing music.
Okay, yeah, I fuck with swing. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that swing music. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna tell you the exact moment that I fell in love with R&B. So I am maybe in sixth grade, maybe even fifth. In the morning time, MTV Jams, channel like 257 on Cox. It would play Neo's When You're Mad every morning at a certain time, right before I went to school. And that was the first R&B song that I loved. The first R&B song that I probably learned by heart. And the first time I realized, oh, I love R&B. Like, it gives me a feeling like when you're mad, like, baby, don't think I don't take you sit. That's a bop. So that was the very moment I fell in love with R&B. And then later down the line, when I discovered Michael Bublé is when I fell in love with just music in general. And I got my eyes just opened up to a whole different world of music. Before, it was just R&B, hip hop, gospel. Then it opened me up to rock, jazz, classical, alternative, all that other type of genres. Yeah. So where are you from?
Okay, but before I get started where I'm from, tell us about that time when you were playing music, for the soldiers, when you were out there doing your mission in the field. And like, you just kind of bring everyone together because you play a little bit of everything. Your taste is so eclectic. You play something for everyone. All
right, so let me give you a little backstory to that, right? So back in my first duty station, I used to work at Domino's as a delivery dropper. And this is something that I just kind of picked up naturally. Something that I realized was that music is really like the greatest equalizer to people. So when I'll pull up to somebody's house, I would, based on how they look coming to get the pizza, I would change the song real quick to pander to them. Because like the music they hear, it will put them in a better mood to tip better. So if I seen like a young white guy or something, I'll play like some Pink Floyd, or I play some All American Rejects, or I play something that I deem to be white music. If I seen a female, I may throw on some Keisha Cole, I may throw on some Alicia Keys, or if she looked like young, I may throw on some Meg Thee Stallion, or I may throw on some young music that caters to her. If I seen an older black guy, I may throw on some older music, like some Ray Charles, or something like that. I don't know, but that came from that, because like I would notice when they cut in my car and they would hear some music, they were like, "Oh, what you know about this? Oh, what you?" I'm like, "Come on, man. I like it all, baby. I like it all." "Oh, really?" Then we get to like a small little 3-minute conversation. I look down, it's about a $9 tip. So that is where I got that from. But okay, so fast forward to the field. So we go to the field, and I told myself I wanted to do an experiment. So the experiment was I wanted to play like what's deemed to be ratchet hip hop music. So raunchy, like a lot of cussing, a lot of bitch, hoe, this. I'm talking about drugs, killing people. So I'm gonna play that first and just see everybody's reaction. Now the people that are out there, you got a couple young black guys, you got a white girl, you got a middle-aged white man, and you got a couple white boys. All right, and I got like one Hispanic person. All right, so cool, a big melting pot. So the first thing I throw in is like some Moneybagg Yo. You know who Moneybagg Yo is?
It sounds familiar.
Look at my wrist, I got time today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So him. All right, so I throw in some Moneybagg Yo, and their reactions was like some like, okay, of course the young black guys is fucking with it. So cool. And then everybody else just kind of looked uncomfortable. They looked uncomfortable. So I let like 2 songs rock. Nobody said nothing to me either. Nobody said, "Yo, change that." Nobody said nothing, because they didn't want to come off like they was insensitive, or they was stereotyping me or something like that, or whatever. Like they pretty much just didn't want to offend me. So then I changed the stuff, but then I changed the music to Pink Floyd. I changed it to Pink Floyd, like Us and Them, Brain Damage, that old classic rock. And then immediately the older white guy was like, "You like Pink Floyd?" And I was like, "Yeah." You thought I just one dimensional, huh? You thought I just had the rap in my bag, huh? You didn't really. Okay, enjoy it, man. Enjoy. So I went from Pink Floyd to like Michael Jackson to Justin Timberlake to like Childish Gambino. I went to a whole bunch of universal safe music, but was good enough to vibe with. And it was just interesting, just seeing how everybody, would react to the music. It was interesting. I used to want to be a DJ back in my day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Me, I am from Chicago South Side. I grew up in a neighborhood called Hyde Park. I didn't really discover my taste in music or my love for music until I was in college. I grew up in a sort of, I don't want to say sheltered household, but for the most part, my father, he was very particular on the type of music I listened to. So I was convinced that, well, hey, if I'm not allowed to listen to rap, the way, the parental advisory and all this and the third, then I don't listen to anything. So that's kind
of. What did he have you listen to?
He didn't really have to listen to anything. Obviously I went out to the store and bought some CDs from time to time, you know what I'm saying? And when he found them, it was a whole issue, you know what I mean? But I mean, it wasn't what he had to listen to. I just chose not to listen to music like that. I just didn't do it, because I was like, okay, well, like, this is what the kids are listening to. If I can't listen to that, then what's the point? So I was kind of like out on the music tip. When I got to college, I discovered a whole lot of different music, as I started getting older, and that was interesting. I had a white roommate, So he put me on a lot of stuff. I found a lot of stuff on my own, things of that nature. But what else would I say? Yeah, I'm just that man. I didn't really play sports a lot growing up. I was more someone that I really enjoyed history. I like to draw. History is my favorite subject. I used to draw a lot when I was younger. I would go out and play sports with the neighborhood kids from time to time, whenever we did it. But I really wasn't like competitive about it. I really didn't care. I was just out there having fun. It is what it is. That was that. I went to Syracuse University, studied history and economics. When I came out, I sort of, moved around a lot. Didn't really have a clear direction in life as to what I was going to do. I came out in the 2008 financial crisis. So I came out without a job. My first job out of college, I was working at UPS. I was unloading boxes out of a truck, out the back of the trucks. I did that for about 6 months. Then I became a supervisor. I absolutely hated that. And then, I was trying to get into law school. So I got accepted into the summer program. And had I got accepted into that, I would have got a full-time seat, the following fall. But I ended up not getting into that program because I didn't do well enough. I think out of like 100 and something people, there were only 4 seats, that were allowed to continue through.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to New Jersey, studied for the LSAT, increased my LSAT score by like 10 or 12 points. Ended up getting into, I was about to get into Rutgers, like Rutgers Law. That's actually a pretty prestigious law school in New Jersey. But I ended up not doing that because I just didn't feel like I was ready, at that moment in time. Things kind of went off for me. And then so I went back to Chicago about 2 years, worked, little odd jobs or whatever. Then I ended up applying to law school again, and I got accepted to FAMU. So I moved down to Orlando, and I did that for a little bit. And one day, I was doing a homework assignment, and I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, yo, I want to go party. So I just stopped the homework assignment. And I went to go party. I withdrew from law school. And the main reason I withdrew was because I didn't want to graduate and not know my next steps. I didn't want to graduate with another degree and then go back and have to work just a basic job. So I decided that I was going to withdraw and go get involved with some political campaigns. So I worked on Barack Obama's reelection campaign in Florida. I eventually got involved with the marijuana legalization campaign. And then during that time, I also found this organization called Independent Voters out of New York City. And I got involved with them. And I started to find myself. I started to, I also I became a substitute teacher. I absolutely enjoyed that. That was like probably one of my favorite jobs, actually, as a substitute teacher down in Florida, in Orlando. And I also worked for an after-school kids program. And I also started to work on getting my certification to become a full-time teacher. And I was just doing this, and then my grandfather passed away. And I had been thinking, like, do I want to go to Chicago or do I want to stay here in Florida? And I really didn't want to go back home. But then my grandfather passed away, just as my lease was up. It was time for me to renew my lease. I was like, you know what? That's my sign right there. It's time for me to go back to Chicago. So I went back to Chicago, helped out with my family for a little bit. And I ended up getting a job. I forget exactly where I was working. I got a job at Amazon. And I also went back to try to finish up my master's. Right after I didn't get into law school, the first time around, I got accepted into this master's program at the University of Chicago. And I withdrew from that. And I was trying to finish that. I didn't finish that. And then when I came back home, I tried to finish that again. I ended up completing that. But I was worried about, either writing a paper, my thesis, or trying to make money. And so I was like, I need to make money. The hell with this paper. What's this paper going to do for me? So
right.
I withdrew. So I didn't finish that program, and I started working with Amazon. And then while I was working at Amazon, I started from the bottom. Every job I've had, for the most part, I've always started from the bottom and moved up. I started out as a regular employee because they just opened a facility down not too far from where my parents lived. So I did that. After about a month, I went out for a promotion to become a supervisor. I did that. and then I was going out for a management position. And I was going through the process of getting that job, and I was just like, yo, I was like, I'm not happy where I am in life right now. And I just don't really see, although I see myself moving up with Amazon, I see that as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I'm going to be happy here because I started thinking about my time at UPS as a manager. You know, there's just like this mentality there where it's all productivity. And it's just like, yo, like I know what it is doing this job. And it's like, there's only so much you can do to motivate these people to keep those numbers where they want them to be. And I'm not a driver, you know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be a slave driver, you know. So that's when I was like, really, I had been entertaining the military for some time. You know, my father, he was a Marine, and he suggested, you know, he had been suggesting the military for some time. I knew
Yeah.
I always wanted to work for the federal government. You know, when I was a kid, you know, I always loved history, and I always remember reading all these great stories about all these, you know, people doing all this great stuff in the military, you know, particularly, you know, George Washington or, you know, whoever else, you know, you talked about, you know, World War II, all the stuff that happened on then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I just didn't think the military was for me. I didn't really have the confidence in myself that I thought I would be able to, you know, make it through boot camp. You know, because I wasn't really physically inclined, you know, as a young man. And so I was just like, you know what? I think I was really afraid of fear. I was afraid that I was going to fail. It's particularly at that point in time when I have had a track record of just failure after failure after failure. Okay. So my self-esteem was a little low. And so that was my biggest fear, which is failing, you know. And I just said, look, man, if you want a change in your life, you need to step outside your comfort zone. And you say you want to work for the Fed someday. So this would be a great way to get your foot in the door. So I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anyone. I was like, you know what? I don't care what job they have. I'm just gonna go in there and I'm gonna sign up and I'm making my mind up and I'm going. So I went into the recruiter's office. They gave me a lay down the jobs I needed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they had a slot available for the job I wanted, which was ammo specialist. You know, I wanted to be an ammo specialist so I could learn about the ammunition, you know, because, you know, I was thinking about possibly being a war dog, you know, like, you know, so I was like, all right, bet. So they gave me that job and I went home and I signed the contract. I went home to my parents, like, hey guys, you know, I'm signing up to go enlist in the military. They were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'll be leaving in like 30 days, you know. And all these questions, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm signing up, guys, I'm going.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right. And I went, man, and I haven't looked back since. You know, I had a plan in place. You know, the first day I got to the unit, man, Sergeant Tejada, they asked me, like, hey, man, what's your plans? What you want to do? You know, I'm sitting there with my high top fade, with my round gold rims on, my frames, and my little soft briefcase, my computer bag. I said, look, I'm going to OC. I want to be an officer. They're like, okay. So I submitted my packet. And hey, here I am today. I'm a commissioned officer in the U.S. Army. I had a plan. I stuck to it, and I went after it. And I got it. So the stage is yours.
I was working at the Navy Exchange, pushing carts, taking trash out. You know, my job title was called laborer worker. Because literally all I did was physical labor. Like that was my job description. Anything. And you see, when I first joined, I didn't take a look at all the job descriptions in there. Like pretty much I was a do boy. I could just do whatever they tell me to do. Like my job description was so long, but I but I got that job when I was 16. So I was working there from a junior until I went to, the Army. But so I graduated high school. Well, before I graduated high school, I had a couple options. The military was not one. I took the ASVAB the first time and I scored a 16.
16?
A 16, my G.
Damn.
And look, it's crazy because when I took it, I'm like, all right, I probably got like a 60 or something like that. In my head, I got like a 60 or something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did you even try, my guy?
Well, I tried. That's the thing, I tried.
You weren't a dumb kid in high school.
No, I wasn't. I graduated with honors. I don't know. I just had a bad day, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah,
16.
yeah, it was something wrong there. 16, my guy.
16.
Not even
And
possible. Apparently so. But
it
yeah,
is 16.
yeah.
16. And then so I had two choices because I just got my acceptance letter from Old Dominion University. So I had two choices: either study some more for the ASVAB, or just go ahead and pursue Old Dominion University. And it's crazy because I didn't even know why I was going to college. It was just the thing to do. You graduate high school, you go to college, or you go in the military, or if you're talented enough, you become some type of a star or whatever. That was really it. So I went to ODU, and I didn't really like it like that. It was way different. It was way different from high school. It was big classes, not a lot of grades, so it's not a lot of area for mistakes as far as grades go. I had freedom to do whatever I wanted to do, which was I was not responsible enough to handle that at 18.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't go to class, won't nobody gonna tell my parents.
Yeah. And me, I went to class. I just didn't study afterwards. Like,
yeah, and look, I never studied in high school either. I never studied in high school.
yeah.
So it's like having those poor study habits carry on to college. It's just a setup for failure. So I go through my first year of college, and I ended up on academic probation.
Yeah, I was on academic probation too.
Yeah, because my grades were just terrible. Mm-hmm. And so I'm on probation going into my sophomore year, and it's not looking good. I mean, I had an opportunity to do what I can to get out of probation, but it still came down to I don't know why I'm here. My major was information technology, using systems. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know what that was either, to be honest. I just knew it made six figures coming out of college. So I was like, I'm gonna just, do that. But once I realized I didn't really know what I wanted to do, that's when I started to kind of spiral. And I wasn't interested in college anymore. I wasn't interested in going to school. And I'm just smoking weed with my friends, not really doing shit with my life. I'm still going to work.
What'd you put in your Army application? When they asked you to smoke weed, what'd you say?
Well, they're tracking. They're tracking. So, I'm smoking with my friends, chilling, not doing shit with my life. I'm still going to work at the Navy Exchange because I gotta, survive somehow. But like I said, like you said, it was one night, Halloween night. It's funny. I ended up meeting a group of people on the Facebook group, ODU 19, and we all decided to link up at this one guy's room and then slide out to these parties. And there was one party we went to. It was kind of packed, kind of not. I'm on the wall chilling. I'm smoking. And it just dawned on me like, yo, my life is trash right now. Like look what I'm doing. I'm broke. Like my grades are bad. I have no direction in what to do in life. I'm in college just because that's what I'm supposed to be at, according to society. That's what I'm supposed to be at in college. So I was like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna go and join the military. And I didn't even know which branch I wanted to join. I just went to the first recruiting office that was open, which was the Army. So I went to the recruiting office. Navy was closed. Air Force wasn't even there. like nobody had been there for months. And the Marines was open, but I'm not joining the Marines. So I go talk to an Army recruiter. I said, hey, I want to take the ASVAB. He said, how long you need to study? I said, give me 2 weeks. All right, so we set a date. And then instead of going to classes, I'm going to the library to study for the ASVAB. My parents still think I'm going to classes. They still think I'm going to classes. I'm going to the library to study. I'm going to my cousin's house to kick it. And then I take the ASVAB. I score 50. All right, cool. I go right back to the recruiting office that we sit and look at jobs. And literally I had like 5 jobs open. I had like infantry. I had tankerman. I had combat engineer. I want to say I had a cook on there, and then I had ammunition specialist. And I was like, all right, which jobs aren't combat related? He said, you got cook and you got ammunition specialist. I said, sign me up for ammo. Sign me up. And it came with an $8,000 bonus. So I said, all right, cool. So I signed the paperwork. And then about a week.
You turned down a $16,000 bonus.
You?
To be an ammo specialist.
Yeah, you're wild. I would have took
They
that.
wanted me to be I was thinking about the long term, baby. The long term. I was thinking about the long game. I was thinking, hey, I'm gonna be a government contractor when I get out.
What job was that for? What job was that for?
Medical lab technician. I don't want to be in no lab all day, man. And the AIT was a year long, man.
Bro, I would have took that.
Man, I was not trying to do all that, man. I wasn't trying to do all that, bro.
I swear I would have took it. But
I had a plan of what I wanted to do, and I may have never met you. This would maybe never have come about.
Nah, you're right. You're definitely right.
I don't regret my decision. I don't regret it.
So I signed a contract. We set a date for MEPS, and about a week go by. I haven't told my parents anything yet. Mm-hmm. And then one day my dad comes upstairs, and I just tell him, I'm like, yo, I'm joining the military. He was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm leaving in about 30 days. He was like, okay. You sure? I was like, yeah.
You ain't got no choice now.
Hey, I said, it came with $8,000 bonus. And he said, oh, really? He said, all right. He said, tell your mom yet? I said, nah, not yet. He said, well, you go tell her. I said, I'll probably tell her tomorrow. So I told my mom like a couple of days later, and my mom freaks out on me. She's like, you're dropping out of college to join the military? She's like, what are you doing? She starts chasing me around the table. Like, she said, you're not about to be out there going to war. I'm like, Mom, relax. My job's not combat related. Relax. And then I showed the contract. I'm like, look, all right, sign. Like, I'm going. It is what it is. And she was like, oh, so you just going to go? You ain't even come talk to us. I said, nah. I said, look, I got a bonus. She was like, let me see. I showed her the paperwork. She was like, and she had to sit down, like catch her breath. And she was like, she started crying a little bit. She was like, well, I mean, I guess if you're going, I guess nothing I can do, huh? I was like, nah, I'm going. Like, it is what it is at this point.
Facts.
And then, yeah, it was, and that's that. I left like a month later. AIT, basic AIT, and then Washington, Korea, and now I'm in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what point did I don you the vibe cultivator?
So we were actually in the barracks. We were in the barracks.
This is in Korea. It had to have been in Korea.
Yeah, this is in Korea. This is in Korea. We're in the barracks. Mm-hmm. And we were inside. I want to say we were inside your room. And we were just kicking it, talking. We might have been getting ready to go somewhere.
Side note, Robertson actually put me on to R&B too. I started listening to R&B because of Robertson. His passion for music reignited my passion for music. And that's part of the reason that got me through Korea. Because Korea was some dark times, people.
Dark times, man.
Dark times. A lot of red lights. For you. A lot of red lights for you, baby.
Oh, we're not going to go there. Oh, my gosh.
You're not going to worry about that. But anyway, continue.
We're in your room, and I think I had some music playing. And you was like, yo, bro, you always setting the vibe. You always setting the vibe wherever you at. Like, you always playing some music and shit. You was like, you like the vibe cultivator. And I was like the what? You said, like the vibe cultivator. I was like, I said, I like that name. I'm taking it. And then we didn't really talk too much about it after that because you had already knew about my media passions, like me wanting to, like, do interviews with people, the podcast and stuff like that, you know. And I had done like nothing up until that point, like nothing.
So why don't we talk about, you know, how we started the podcast? And I think I like to start this at this point in time. I'm about maybe a year and a half into the military. We're out at JBLM in Washington State. I think the new year had just hit. It was not too long after the new year. And, you know, I was on a conference call with the independent voting people out of New York City. And we were on our New Year's conference call. And this conference call just really inspired me. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get back involved with these people, I want to do it in a capacity that is going to be enjoyable for me. And I have been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for some time. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I might as well do it on something I'm passionate about. And I need to do it on something that I see myself doing for the long haul. And I was like, you know, I have a passion for politics and things of that nature. So like, you know what? I'm gonna do a YouTube channel for the independent voters movement. And so I'm geeked. I was actually washing my car. I finished washing my car. I was listening to the call, and I went straight to Robertson's house. And I was like, "Yo!" I knocked on his door, and I was like, "Yo!" I believe it was the morning Kobe Bryant died, and so I knocked on Robertson's door. He opened his door, and I was like, "Bro, I'm about to start a YouTube channel." He was like, "Me too," and I'm like, "Really? Like what? You serious? Like what? Like what's going on?" Like. And he was like, yo, man, Kobe's death's got me thinking.
So I remember in the morning that Kobe died, I woke up and the first thing I did was hop on Twitter.
It was a Sunday, wasn't it?
I don't know what day it was. It was like
Sunday.
It was like January something though.
Yeah.
So I open my phone up, I go on Twitter, and like Kobe's trending because it says RIP Kobe. The internet's always doing some RIP somebody, and it may not be always true. So I didn't really believe it. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really believe it. So I cut on my TV. I'm on my couch. I cut on YouTube. First thing to pop up, plane crash, many dead, including Kobe. I was like, oh no. So I go back on Twitter, and now all these details are just coming out. Like it was Kobe. It was a daughter. It was teammates, and I'm like, oh my God. And it wasn't still like it's like another like 2-3 hours before it was really confirmed. And then they showed like the video of the crash, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I'm just in shock. Like I'm really in shock. And I just kind of sat there for an hour, like just
Kobe. He had retired at this point, right? He wasn't no longer playing basketball, right?
Yeah, Kobe had been retired for like at least maybe 4 seasons by now.
Okay. All right.
So I just sat there, and then maybe like it was like all that week, I just kept seeing nothing but just Kobe stuff. Like the clips, the motivational clips, his motivational speeches,
the Mamba mentality.
Yeah, the Mamba mentality, like the put the work in, you know, don't wait, do it now. And I said, you know what, man, this is the perfect time. I'm not working right now because COVID's here. I said I'm gonna start the podcast. I'm gonna do it.
So you had been thinking about starting a podcast for some time then?
Yeah, I had been thinking about it. I just didn't really, what's the word? It seemed like such a lot of work to do. Okay. And to really get it to look and feel the way I really wanted to look and feel. So I just kept putting it off. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. And just see what happens. So I went and bought a camera, these 2 microphones, this recorder, mic stand,
N1 or whatever the thing is
called. Yeah, it's
so many stories about that damn thing.
Yeah, that thing, the H141, something like that. And then I called up Jarrell. I called up my boy Derek, and I was like, yeah, like y'all want to do it? Let's do it. And then we just started doing it. Our first episode was with our boy Sully too. Our boy Sully was there too.
Facts. So, I started my YouTube channel, and it was a learning curve. It was a process. I think Derek started to do one as well, and we were just beginning and learning together. Yeah. Everything about how to make a YouTube channel, how to get all of this technology working, how to do everything, how to upload the videos, troubleshooting whatever problems we had. It was definitely an uphill battle, and it was definitely a learning curve. But we pooled our energy together, and we figured everything out together. And, we were just doing stuff. And as time moved on, it got easier, and it was quicker. We were learning much more. And, once you learn one thing, you have to learn another thing. And it's a lot to balance, lots to juggle. But once you get started and get over those initial humps, everything's down here from there. Things start getting easier. Things start getting easier to learn because you're already doing it. But those first couple of episodes, those first couple of weeks, man, were very trying, very difficult. And then so eventually we moved from Washington. You know, I went to OCS. Robertson went to Hawaii. Our boy Derek is still back there. And we each just individually kind of fell off of our YouTube channels because we had obligations to fulfill with the Army. And that takes precedence over everything. And this past year, when we were on HBL, you know, Robinson, you know, he had been putting out YouTube videos every once in a while, not as consistent as he was once before, as he couldn't really find a crew. He was having a hard time securing interviews. And he had proposed to me earlier in the year last year in 2021. He's like, hey, man, how would you feel about, you know, signing to the VC TV network or whatever? He wanted to recruit me for talent. He was trying to pimp me out.
Side note. I've always told you he's a star. I've always told me he's a star. I've always believed in him. He just got that magnetic energy. Like people always tell me he's funny, charismatic. They always enjoy him, you know, whenever I put something out with him. So that's why I was like, yo, he's a star. I gotta sign to 360. I gotta sign his name, his likeness. So I'm just gonna.
I was hesitant. I really wasn't sure. And then so started to get busy. And then, you know, I was like, you know what, YouTube still is kind of a passion of mine. I really haven't been putting videos out. And then it dawned on me, I was like, yo, like, why are we trying to build two separate YouTube channels? And that's when I think I went to him and I called him up and I was like, bro, why don't we just pool our resources and work together on YouTube? Because I was really trying to do my YouTube, but I was trying to do something that was less labor intensive. Because I had to research what I wanted to talk about. I had to write the scripts, rehearse the scripts, film, direct, produce, and edit. And editing takes a lot of energy. So I was thinking about changing my formatting for my channel and focusing more on interviewing people that were active in the independent voters movement. And that was how I was going to educate people. I wanted to center my channel around the people in the movement instead of me educating people. And so I lined up some interviews and I was like, you know what? While I'm lining up interviews, Robertson's having a hard time securing the interviews. Everybody keeps canceling on him for whatever reason. So I was like, you know what, man? How about I put my interviews on your channel, okay? Because we need to find a way to get you content that you can put up every week to be consistent. How about I interview people and you edit? Because I don't have time to edit. Because I have other things I'm working on. You need content. You don't have content. Since I'm getting you the content, you know, you can edit it. And he was like, all right, bet. And then we decided to do a weekly segment called Diplomatic Language. Basically, that would be like our filler content. If we didn't have any content, we would just have that consistently every week. And I told him that I would edit Diplomatic Language because it would be much more of a freestyle sort of thing. And it wouldn't take much energy and effort on my part. And I would have time to do that. And the way we came up with the name Diplomatic Language I took this photo of New Year's. And I told him, I was like, yo, man, I was like, caption this photo. And he was like, Diplomatic Language. And then we were thinking about the name for the weekly segment. I was like, yo, I got the perfect name. He's like, what is it? I was like, give me a second. So I called him and I was like, yo, man, we're gonna name it Diplomatic Language. Like, what? And I was like, yeah. He's like, man, he's like, well, when people ask us, what does that mean? What does that mean? And so I was like, hey, man, you know, it just sounds good.
It sounds good.
It just sounds good.
It sounds good.
We're talking about politics. You know, that's as diplomatic as you can get. Talking about politics, you know, culture, you know, and a person of the week, man. That's just, you know, updating events and things of that nature. So we decided to, you know, pool our resources to make this happen. You know, his dream is to become a media mogul. He wants to recruit talent, things of that nature. So we figured, hey, this is a great way to do this. And we're going to pool our resources and we're starting our company. You know, we're pooling our resources. We're going to save our money together. We're going to practice group economics. And we are going to build our YouTube channel. So watch out. Right now, you know, I got us our first couple of interviews for Q1. He's about to carry the ball with the next interviews. I'm getting ready to switch up the roles and focus on the marketing so we can grow these numbers and get those subs up. So That's just that. You got anything else you want to say? You want to add?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
I think that's about it, man.
So we doing it, man. 2022 is our year. It could be your year too. We already have content for all of quarter one. So hey, man, can't stop, won't stop. And what do you always say? Can't stop the rain.
You can't stop the rain, man. You can't stop. The rain is gonna come. The rain is gonna come. This content is already made. The content is continuing to come, and it's gonna keep going. You know, the quality will continue to slowly get better. It will, the audio will get better. The visuals get better. The level of people, as far as status that we'll be able to, get for an interview, they will get higher. And just our mission is just to put out consistent quality content every day. Our mission is to inform and entertain. Inform by giving you quality content about these entrepreneurial fields, these businesses, these people of interest that have something of value and of quality to tell. We're not just up here just talking for the sake of entertainment. We want to actually inform as well. So,
and we're looking to inspire people to follow their dreams. Our primary focus is we're interviewing people of interest in the local communities that we happen to reside in who have some sort of impact on the community, whether that be a community activist, whether that be an entrepreneur, whether it be an artist. But basically, we're doing these interviews to show you what is possible and to show you that if there's something that you want to do, you can take notes from these people that we're interviewing and you can get jump started on the path to follow your dreams. That's really what this is about. And we want to highlight the talent within local communities to inspire other people to pursue their dreams and accomplish their goals.
We've hit on a few different areas already. We've hit on fitness. We've hit on politics. We've hit on sports. We've hit on literature. We have somebody on the VCTV right now who self-published a book. If you're interested in self-publishing a book and need to know how to accomplish that, the resource you can pull, how much it's going to cost roughly, you can refer back to that. Our goal is to be able to, for somebody to be able to have a thought in their head about what they want to do in their life, and us to be able to provide that blueprint via interview that they can refer back to, to write notes on, and just to get a visual representation of how to do it, inform. And then in the midst of that information, it's going to be some laughs. It's going to be some stories. It's going to be some good times to be shared. You got to put the medicine in the candy, as they say.
Thank you for watching the Vibe Cultivator Network. For more clips, interviews, and original content, subscribe to the Vibe Cultivator Network on YouTube.
And for exclusive content, become a patron of the Vibe Cultivator Network, available on Patreon only.